Peace be with you. Great to have you here again today. We're into June. Hard to believe that we're into June. And I know for some of you, you've finished up your school for the year, and others are continuing on with things. And normally we would be starting to wrap up our Sunday school and our children's worship. But because of these restrictions and the fact that we can't gather and do the things we normally do, we're going to try to make sure that there's a video here every week through the summer, and certainly until we can come back and have our children's worship and our time together. So look forward to that, and I want to thank all of the people who have been making sure that we have crafts. That's your storytellers and your doorkeepers have been making sure we've had crafts and activities each and every week, and I hope you're enjoying them as well. Now, today, I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about the gospel lesson. And the gospel lesson has to do with the disciples who became apostles. Now, I brought some I brought some papers. I've got disciples. And there's my word disciple. And what's a disciple? Well, that's right. A disciple is somebody who learns. Somebody who learns about Jesus, somebody who follows Jesus, somebody who grows in faith. And in the Bible, Jesus called people to be disciples. And we learned about that in the fall. We learned about Peter and Andrew and James and John and Mary and Martha and all of the people who followed Jesus, and they learned from Jesus. Well, in our lesson today, some of those disciples, Jesus said there's lots of people who need to hear about the good news of God. So I'm going to make you apostles. And Jesus actually, or the Bible story actually names some of the people who became apostles at that time. And later there were a lot more apostles. And then Jesus sent them to the villages to teach about God and to do good things so that people knew about God's love and grace. And I've got my word apostle. Now, unlike a disciple who follows and learns and grows, an apostle is someone who teaches, who goes out to form groups and show other people how to follow and to be a disciple. So the two words do have something in common, because disciples are people who are growing in faith, just like that. This one reaches up. And apostles are those who reach out, just like this one's going from side to side. And apostles are those who help make better disciples. So they do fit together. And the truth of the matter is that in our story, the disciples who became apostles went out and told about Jesus, and then they came back and they told Jesus what had happened, and they continued to follow and to grow. Because we're not either a disciple or apostle. The fact is, we're both. I need to get this to fit properly. We're both disciples, continuing to grow in faith, and we're also meant to be apostles, telling other people about Jesus. And you can see what I formed through this too. Because when we're both disciples and apostles, then we show the good news of Jesus, about his death and his resurrection, about God's love being greater than anything else. We show that to the world. And we continue to grow in faith even as we tell others what we know and believe and hope. Now, as always, there are activities just below where you're watching this video, and I'd invite you to participate in those and to do those. And as always, if you ever have a craft that you've done that you want to take a picture of and send it to me, I'd love to see it, and we could certainly make sure that others see it as well. Now, before you get to the crafts, though, why don't we just pause and pray as Jesus taught. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Well, I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week.